Boom. And we're live. Episode 70. Wow, we said it at the same time.
Jinx, you owe me a...
We should do a video. I owe you a sparkling water. We should do a video because every episode I say the number where it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we would just like fly through all of them. Like that'd be pretty cool.
We'll get there. We'll do that for 100.
100. Ugh, why can't I talk? But yeah, welcome back. It's been a bit. We doubled up on podcast 1 week, and then it was just super busy. And this weekend, I was getting stuff ready for Japan, and today's indicative of one of those like super lazy Sundays. That's what we did. We went to the Indian food buffet, like we usually do Sunday, and then
On Market Street?
No, when you're in Ben Salem, right next to Giant, there's
Street
a place
Road.
called Shagun Palace on Street Road.
Yeah, I heard about
It's
it.
amazing.
Yeah?
Go. I got Gus addicted to it a while ago, and
Takeout, or is it like...
it's a buffet. So it's you just come in, and it's it used to be only on weekends. Now it's any day you come in, starting at 5. It's $10. Can't beat it.
You get chicken marsala?
Dude, we get chicken marsala, we get pakora, we get all this really great
It's that
stuff.
good
man.
stuff.
Yeah, it's good. But then my brother and I got into a really deep conversation about The Matrix because now it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. I saw that before I came in.
I heard only until
And
July 1st.
There's also... I just left that... When I was just leaving the house, so do you remember this on PlayStation? A couple years back, they had this feature called Max on Netflix.
No.
Do you happen to remember this? I don't know why Netflix got rid of this. I thought this was a genius idea. So there was this like Siri-like system on Netflix, right?
Siri, like, where like voice
Yes.
I do remember this now.
Max.
Yeah.
So you go, he'll be like, hey, what are you interested in watching today? And you would have genres, and it would make you choose out of the
yeah,
three.
you'd be like, romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would have like a little like very corny like joke.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. So you'd be romantic comedy, horror, action. Then you're like, I could go rom-com right now. Then it said, do you want to see something sporty? You want to see something like a heist or, and then it won't tell you the movie. It'll just play it.
Huh.
So after you do your selection, then it's like, okay, I'm going to generate this movie for you and snap.
I do remember that.
And then it would just start playing and you're like, and I miss that because now I'm at a point in Netflix where I watch a lot of stuff and it's like, I want something to be recommended. Like I want, like, they do give you recommendations, but like I want them to say, based on what you watched, this is the percentage of what you might like this.
I mean, they kind of do that, but it's nonverbal. Like, like if you finish a series, another series is loaded right away.
Right.
Like, oh, you might like this.
Right. But like even the trailers that they shoot on some of the shows, they don't like reel you in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I just want like, because even with the Max thing, he would give you like a synopsis, like a little bit longer than the title, like the little description that they would give you, but it would be like better.
Yeah.
It was just better. There's more.
It's amazing that they cut that out. I remember they used to make you watch like one preview before like you jumped into something. Like those are the early days of Netflix.
Early days of Netflix, and like now they just like there's so much content on there, a lot of good and a lot of bad, and it's like, well, I don't want to waste my time with the bad. Mm-hmm. And like, they keep adding more anime on there, which is good.
Yeah,
that's very good for the industry. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like even some of the TV shows, like it's great that they're adding so many different language programs. I actually prefer to watch that sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like there's this one that I just saved. It's
Spanish show.
Nah, it's I think it's Italian.
Okay.
It was it's called The Heist or something like that. It's a TV show about like 9 bank robbers and they're trying. It's kind of like Oceans in a way.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man. Like Italian Job. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah, the classic.
Awesome.
And like the picture of the show has me interested because it's using like the anonymous mask. Like they're wearing like they're doing heists in like anonymous mask. You know what I'm talking about? Or V for Vendetta with the mustache and whatever. And like V for Vendetta is like that's a phenomenal movie. Yeah. And so it's like
that movie inspired the internet in a crazy way.
It really did. Even like Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
That's a big time show.
Well, yeah, it's. I think Netflix has just cut out a lot of the BS. And now, you're really starting to realize all these networks are going to be doing streaming. Yeah. The Office is gone.
I know.
And it's like, wow, NBC is really going to do the streaming thing.
Want to do something crazy, too? So did you happen to see the analytics of what is the percentages of, like, the shows that are, like, dominate Netflix?
I'd be willing to bet Office is number 1.
Office, I think, was 1 or 2, followed by Friends.
Okay, Friends.
Followed by Parks and Rec rounds up the top 3. Office was like 17%.
Mm-hmm.
The first Netflix original doesn't come down to like number 20.
Yeah, see, that's...
So think about this. So when these shows were on TV, they did very well, but they did better on Netflix.
Of course.
So, why do they do well? Because these shows were made to be syndicated.
Mm-hmm.
You can play any type of episode, no matter what time of the day.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna watch it.
And you're still gonna love
They
it.
are, even though they were on Netflix network television, they were binge-worthy shows.
Right.
So, The Office, you could watch it. It's that type of episode. You could have it in the background. You hear the jokes, but it's that type of show, and it blew up. So all of these networks are taking back their stuff. NBC's like, yeah, we want our show back.
Yeah.
Like, so Office is going January 1st, 2021. That's not that far away.
No.
Literally a year. It's a year. Friends is going to be next.
Yeah.
Because when Office leaves, that means Parks and Rec is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That means, I can't even think of some of the shows. There's so many of them.
Yeah, that's all NBC. I mean, that's all going to be pulled out. See, what's going to happen is, I guess, in the next 5 years, the only thing that's going to be on Netflix is Netflix originals.
Which is good, but at the same time, I hear that Netflix is so in depth that for them to start making money, they're going to have to start charging like $40 a month.
Yeah, not going to happen. No one's going to do that.
And the thing is about like all these other networks, Disney, they already own every that. They own all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to, I don't think they're in debt because, you know, people are going to sign up. If you get every single, Disney is such a monopoly, they own half the market.
Right.
You pay that $10 a month, guess what? You have an extensive library.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Disney streaming service.
Disney streaming service.
Dude,
Massive.
that one I think is going to eat Netflix.
They have
And
Star Wars.
It's going to be insane to watch.
They have Star Wars. They have sports because they own ESPN.
ESPN, yeah.
They own ABC, so you get all of ABC's catalog.
Yeah.
They own Fox now, so you get all of Fox.
Yeah. All the Fox shows. I didn't even think about that, like Simpsons, Family Guy.
So even the movies. What is not going to be on Disney?
You
know what
can't
I mean?
beat the Disney streaming service.
So
what are
Disney's
they
already
call
won.
it? Oh, I'm so curious.
It's called I think Disney Plus.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think it's called something simple.
I guess.
But even like all the Marvel movies, boom,
Yeah. Done. Gone. Completely off.
and just like that Thanos, like they
Right.
just gone. Dude, Star Wars, gone.
Yeah.
It's all right there. And even like movies that you wouldn't expect because they were in the umbrella of like Fox will be on this Disney. So I'm trying to like think, like Terminator
Yeah.
will be on a Disney thing.
So do you think this is going to kill Netflix?
I think so. Slowly, gradually. Like you know how Netflix killed Blockbuster?
Yeah. It's going to happen to them.
Netflix worked because there's no other streamings.
Yeah.
Everyone has it now.
Hulu was the only
Everyone.
other one that people were like, all right, I see Hulu.
See, I think
Like, do your
Hulu's
thing.
better than Netflix because
so, too.
they have the network shows. But I'm curious to know how that's going to work out.
I
'Cause I
think-
think Hulu's owned by Disney too.
Okay, we'll see if they're owned by Disney. They'll be cool. But I remember, like, I said, I want to watch Seinfeld. Couldn't find it on Netflix. Still can't find it on Netflix.
It's on Hulu.
Only on Hulu.
Boom.
I want to watch, what's that new anime show in Megalo Roblox? The guy who's like a boxer. You know what I'm talking about? The robot boxer guy. Really big.
Hulu.
And Hulu.
'Cause
Yeah.
you know what Hulu did?
What?
They partnered with Funimation.
Yeah, they did. And they have all the Funimation
Everything.
anime.
They
Yeah.
got. Not even just that. They have the classic movies.
Mm-hmm.
Spirited Away. The other one, the other massive one from the 90s. They have Akira on there,
Yeah.
English and dub.
Yeah.
And they put out the episodes like that are live on TV the minute they go live in Japan.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't beat that.
They're killing it. Yeah, but
Killing it.
I think they might die too if they're not owned by Disney. Everything's going to be stripped apart. So what we're going to see is
Yeah,
like...
but Hulu also has live sports, so
We're-
that's like a little sneak feature.
Yeah.
Netflix is gonna have to incorporate something.
That's
like
Hulu's live sports is like their hook. Like that's all you see in the marketing. But what we're gonna see is like Nickelodeon Plus, Cartoon Network Plus, Disney Plus. Like it's all
that.
gonna
Well,
be.
Adult Swim already has something.
Yeah. No, they have a streaming service.
Yeah.
So I think what we're gonna see is the return of network TV, but in the form of streaming services. Like every network is gonna pull their stuff from Netflix,
Yeah.
have a streaming service, and then Netflix is just gonna have like
yeah,
all
but
the
no,
Netflix
no,
originals.
it's like kind of sneaky. So
What?
people are like, "Oh, like cancel your cable and just get these streamings." You're now paying. If you have 8 different streaming services, you're paying close to over $100.
You're gonna be paying a lot of money, but what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have to try and curtail what it is that you like. I think that's gonna be the new thing.
You know what I think's going to be next? So what I think is next. So my mom, she has DirecTV now, right? She cut cable. She got like the streaming thing, and you pick your packages of what you want to stream, and you can add on to it. Adding HBO into that is $5 extra a month. What if Disney Plus is like, hey, add Disney Plus onto your subscription, $5 extra a month, onto your already like subscription, like whatever.
Yeah.
And now you have a new form of cable.
Exactly. I think it's moving towards what everybody wanted.
Even Apple has it,
which is like, I don't want Food Network, but I definitely want ESPN, or I definitely want SportsCenter. So now it's like, all right, so you can just add different stuff for $5 and just like make your own cable.
Apple is now stepping into the streaming market.
Yeah, they're doing streaming service.
So they have
Can
their
you
own
imagine
shows.
hearing the phrase Apple Original? Like, bro, did you see that Apple Original show?
Yeah.
Did you watch like Breaking Bad, or like just
Isn't it weird to
stupid?
say?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just gonna be weird.
Dude, think
man.
about this. Who are the two biggest markets in America or even the world? Disney and Apple.
Apple, right?
So, dude, if
And Amazon.
and Apple is just
Yeah.
going to be the hub. Like, even though they're going to have their own stuff, what if they were like, because Apple has the money.
Yeah.
So if they want to like, oh man, just think about, because they have so much money. If they wanted to start, because they are going to start making original programs, dude, these are going to be like high quality like stuff.
Yeah.
Like even HBO. Think about HBO. HBO like is just pumping out shows, dude. A top tier, like cinematic. Like the new show Euphoria is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think HBO is kind of like the Pixar of like TV. You know what I'm saying? Like how Pixar, it's like they never had a flop except Little Dinosaur and maybe like Cars 2.
And a perfect segue into Pixar.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see Toy Story?
No, everyone has told me that it's incredibly cry, not sad, but like it's a cry movie.
Yeah, so this is, I didn't see it yet. I want to see it. It has the highest, I think it's like the second highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Like,
Really?
it's like a 99 or something like that. Like,
I want to see it,
right
man.
behind Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Like, Chernobyl, I think, got the 100.
I definitely want to see it.
And I want to see it too. And there's this girl at work. I asked her. She said she saw it, and she said like, the ending is like so bittersweet because it's like Toy Story is officially over now.
Oh, there's a finality to it.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay,
it's
so
like
that makes me
done.
want to watch it more.
Yeah,
All right.
this is it.
Wow.
So it's like this is it, and it's like you've seen these toys, and you know they kind of have like montages and stuff like built in. You know this is the end. When you're watching it, you're like, I see this direction. I know where it's going. Like this is gonna be it. And she said it was like a perfect movie, like a perfect conclusion. Like how like Endgame. Some people are like, oh, it was a good Marvel movie, something like that. Regardless, it was a perfect conclusion to the past 10 years.
Wow.
So if you can do that, because to me in my eyes, for a franchise or a long-running series, when you're wrapping it up, it should 100% be fan service. Like as a thank you, not like blatant, like, fourth wall breaking, but like callbacks.
Yeah, totally.
There's references, like if someone dies or if no one dies, and how do they, carry on through this.
I can't have someone die in Toy Story, bro. I can't let that happen, man.
But they got our boy Tony Stark in the Avengers. Like,
I can't have Buzz Lightyear snap and just
bro, can you imagine?
have Woody disappear, man.
But Buzz Lightyear does the ultimate sacrifice.
It's just, I could just see his like head doing a quarter turn. And he's just like, to infinity
And beyond.
and just like one tear comes down his eye.
And then
no, Buzz,
and
he
then
just
you
jumps.
you see his red laser just go out. Like,
Yeah, like a heart monitor, like pew.
dude, that would kill me. Like, dude, think about it. I'm like, I still don't know how I'm gonna be able to handle this Lion King adaptation in the theaters.
Yeah, so I think that's the live action one that I'm really looking forward to. I want to see how they do that.
Yeah, because obviously, I'm assuming you've seen the Lion King.
Dude,
Like,
did you see the controversy behind that? How Osamu Tezuka, the guy who made Astro Boy, he made a comic, a manga. I think it was.
I did hear about this. I saw this on Twitter.
Dude, I love Disney. I maybe one day when I'm old, I'd like to work for them one day, God willing. Looks like they stole the story.
Really?
Looks like they stole it. Let me see.
It was about Scar and stuff like that when they were kids and they were growing up, right? Something like that.
Yeah, so
And how they stole the design of what they look like.
right, so the manga was called Kimba the White Lion, and there's a video by Alley Cat on YouTube. Shout out to Alley Cat, which I highly recommend. I've watched it. And it's called The Original Story: The Kimba vs. Simba Controversy. And yeah, dude, it kind of highlights how the Osamu Tezuka manga, which came out in the 1950s, was pretty much ripped in this 90s Lion King adaptation. And like at the time Osamu Tezuka was dead, and the company that owned Kimba in Japan didn't have enough money to sue Disney because Disney was such a giant. So they kind of stole it. And what's crazy is that there was an anime adaptation of this 50s manga, and there are some shots that are like shot-for-shot recreations. Honestly, like we should watch it after this, but like it's pretty cool. But that's a whole separate thing. I respect Lion King. I think that, probably the animators didn't have any idea about any of that stuff. It was probably more the writers. I think it was really well made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just curious as to, because we've seen the Jungle Book live action, so we know kind of what it's going to look like, right? It's going to kind of look like that.
Jungle Book was good, too.
Yeah, but, Jungle Book had at least, like, one human character in it. This is going to be, like, all animals, live-action animals, so it should be interesting.
And they showed the trailer what it's like, what's that really big song for the movie?
Circle of Life?
Not Circle of Life, when Nyla and Simba sing together. That song.
Oh, Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Classic, man.
So in the latest trailer, you can hear Donald Glover and Beyonce's duet of it, and I'm like,
wow.
Dude, this sounds incredible.
Okay, so this is gonna be one of those movies where it's like, yeah, listen to the soundtrack. It's like, I listened to the soundtrack. I'm not sure if I watched the movie, but I listened to the soundtrack. Same thing with Black Panther. Everyone was just on that Black Panther soundtrack for a minute.
That soundtrack was fire.
And the Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
That's on Netflix. How crazy is that?
I've already watched it twice.
Really?
Dude, that movie's so good.
I came home and my roommate was watching it.
I remember when the podcast episode, after I saw it, and you didn't see it, and I said, dude, I don't even know how to describe this movie. It was literally... It's like, if you're a fan of comics, if you're a fan of animation, it's a culmination of it.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to go see it. The next week, you're like, dude, I saw it. Yeah. And I'm just blown away.
It really was just like an explosion of light and color. That's how I describe it. It's just so vivid. Like, if you're looking for something that's like visually really interesting, regardless of story, like, you have to go check this out.
Dude, I think that movie will be shown in like...
Film classes
for a very long time.
Where they're like, this is what you can do with visual medium.
Dude, and not even that. Also, like, the writing in that movie was really good.
I'd say so.
It was really good. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
But, like, the visual medium, like, in the part that they had 9 different character styles going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Between the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like, it was such a jarring thing that it got to a point where you're like, Miles kind of looks real.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that weird was it something Valley,
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
effect.
with the way they animate his eyes and stuff. It gets like very expressive.
Yeah, and you're like watching it, and I'm just like, dude, that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a fan of that one.
Can't wait. I wonder how they're gonna do a sequel.
It's gonna take a bit, I'm sure.
A couple years.
Yeah.
I don't think this is something that they're just going to rush right away to make a sequel for.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they can. Like, I feel like that movie took so long to make. There's just so many working parts in it,
Right.
And then meanwhile, DC is going to be spitting out another Batman movie, which I don't think is smart. A Joker movie without Batman, which I don't think is smart. And then I hear another Justice League movie.
Did you see the trailer for the Joaquin Phoenix?
I did,
Joker
man.
thing?
But this is my take. I think I've said this before. It looks cool. It looks like it might be a good movie. It definitely looks like it's going to be interesting. I feel like there is no, at least me, because I'm like an old school kind of like Saturday morning cartoon Batman guy / comic guy. There's no Joker story without Batman. So I don't know. I didn't watch the movie. Maybe Batman's in it in some form. But there's
we know he's a child. So this Joker is... Yeah, he's a child. So this Joker is
when you say he's a child, you mean Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
So it's almost like they're going the Gotham approach. Like the Gotham TV show.
Okay. It would be funny if there's a scene where like the Joaquin Phoenix character is telling like jokes in a comedy club, and like Kid Bruce like ruins the show by like, I don't know, like being like, you suck, and like that's the moment they become enemies.
They did show in the trailer like he did tell Bruce to smile, and how he told him it was like very creepy.
Oh, okay.
But it looks good. Like, I like original takes, like different spins on it. It looks dark. It looks very gritty.
I don't know. I just feel like Joker is the shadow of Batman. Like, there is no Joker without Batman. He says
it's the yin and yang.
He says it all the time in the cartoon. Like, one of my favorite episodes of the Batman the Animated Series where Batman is pronounced dead, and Joker didn't get the chance to kill him, like one of his henchmen did, but not really.
And he killed the henchman.
Well, yeah, he was close to killing the henchman, but it was, the Saturday morning cartoon, so it didn't really happen like that. But he was just like, that's all I wanted to do, and you took it away from me.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm not going to be a criminal anymore. It's one of my favorite lines ever. I think Kevin Smith talked about this in Fat Man on Batman.
Bro, if you think about it, like...
but the line is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The line is, without Batman, without Batman, crime just doesn't have its punchline. And like, so you kind of realize like the whole reason that he does what he does is it's like this little cat and mouse game with Batman.
Right.
Like he gets off on being chased, and it's just like, okay, I see what makes you tick.
Right.
And I feel like in this movie, it's not going to be that way.
And they're like low key like soulmates, like best friends in a way.
Yeah, there's kind of like this.
Do you remember the Killing Joke? Like at the end of the movie, they both laugh together.
Yeah, there's kind of like these homoerotic like overtones that came on later in the comic, and like it's mostly on Joker's part, but it's kind of to show just like how weird he is. Like he wants to kill this person, but he's also in love with them at the same time.
Yeah.
In the New 52, I think it's a Death in the Family storyline.
It's a great story.
Yeah, he tells Batman, he goes, you complete me. And it's just like really weird. And Batman's like, oh, this is odd. So that's why I feel like he's so deeply intertwined with Batman that Batman has to be in it. But, that's me. I'm a weird guy, and I just want it to be like pure and true to the comics. But I gotta be more like you, man. I need to be flexible, see a new take. It's just gonna be a fun movie, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested in seeing it. The only reason this movie's being made is because people have such an obsession with that character, and I understand. I think he's the best villain in all of fiction. I think he's probably the greatest villain ever written. Actually, it's just interesting. And then of course now there's gonna be a new Suicide Squad, so I'm sure it'll feature the Joaquin Phoenix.
I remember I watched the first one on the flight. The Suicide Squad with Will Smith. I watched it on the flight when Germany. Yeah, to Germany. And I was like, this movie is not that good.
You were like, all right, plane ride, hurry up. Give me
I'm like,
give me down from here.
It's like either this alcohol will kick in or I'm really about to watch this whole movie.
So what happened with I almost said Killing Joke. Killing Joke movie wasn't that great either. What happened with Suicide Squad is I saw the trailer and I had the same reaction to that trailer that I did to the new Men in Black trailer, where I was just like, this is everything I need to know about the movie. And now I don't need to watch it.
Don't need to see it.
And from what I hear, the new Men in Black isn't doing that great either. So what do you expect, man? Those original movies has the best cast ever.
Right.
You can't,
It just doesn't.
It's like Ghostbusters. It's like we're gonna make a new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, sometimes things don't need to be remade.
But it's just like, do you think I watched the movie because Ghostbusters is an amazing concept? No.
Yeah.
I love the cast. I love the actors.
The cast is top class.
I love the personalities.
Right.
You think I want to watch Men in Black without Will Smith?
Right.
Does he even make a cameo in it? Do we know or not?
If he doesn't, then someone messed up.
Okay, yeah, it's just like,
or even Tommy Lee Jones.
Right.
Like
It was
the perfect.
He was amazing.
Like the relationship between. That's why we watch it, because
the contrast, the duality.
Had the old school historic cop.
Yeah.
With the young, modern,
super slick,
super slick, streetwise cop.
Yeah.
And how they coexist.
It was fun.
It was fun. Like, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to expand on the universe, but at the same time, it's like you have Thor and Valkyrie in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Two beautiful people.
Right.
It's like, I don't watch this for beautiful people.
Right.
I'm trying to laugh,
Right.
I'm trying to have fun. Like, did you not see the original Men in Black? How could you mess this up?
Yeah, man.
So I haven't watched that. But yeah, man, and in other news and entertainment, I know we were trying to talk about this, but that Etika kid, man. So I didn't know he was 29. Which is interesting.
He's been around for so long.
Yeah, I saw since 2013 he started, right?
Right. He's been around for so long, and like it's like PewDiePie and Markiplier. When I found out that PewDiePie was 29 and Markiplier was 30, I was like, really? He's been around since I was like a kid.
Yeah, I can believe Markiplier is 30. He kind of looks a little older.
He just turned 30 though.
Oh, okay.
That's what's like.
That's
what. For those of you who do not know, Etika was a massive figure in the gaming community.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo fanboy.
Well, he had a Nintendo Reaction channel. Like, that was the whole thing.
And he also had he called his supporters the Joy-Con boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, he was and it was actually really nice, because I was wondering, I was talking to a couple people, I'm like, do you think Nintendo's going to say something or like contribute? Like, so there's a Twitter page called Nintendo Line or something like that, Nintendo Life.
Okay.
And they have 300,000 followers. I'm assuming it's Nintendo affiliated and it's verified account. And they said something.
Oh, really?
They gave condolences and stuff like that. Because when you have someone like that who's that passionate about your games, like any game, and your hardware, like, I feel like you should say something on their behalf.
I never saw Nintendo as being friendly to, like, Let's Players or people like that. So maybe they're different with reaction. I know they like to copyright strike a lot of Let's Plays with Nintendo. But if someone is essentially marketing for you, which is what all these reaction channels are doing, like, I think his reaction video to Smash Bros. Like created a lot of the hype.
That's pure joy.
Like his reaction was one of the initial ones that are in all the compilations where he's just like screaming and going crazy. Like that helps people to buy the game.
They showed it during one of their things. Like when they were announcing the games, they were showing thanks to the community. And his reaction was in like the video.
Yeah, I saw that too. So yeah, I mean it makes sense that they would say that, but dude, this guy like. So I was hearing about what happened, like, because I just wanted to follow the story. Whenever there's like a big suicide in the media, I'm like, okay, like what was the cause? So from what I hear, this is what I put together. He had a streaming channel that he was doing. Yeah. He streamed anime porn, which is something he was a big fan of, hentai, and of course YouTube shut down his thing right away. Right. So then he went to Instagram Live and he started doing the same thing.
Twitch.
And then Instagram Live. And then he started tweeting crazy stuff like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I should let you guys all burn. Like, I'm the Antichrist. And then, like, he called in Keemstar and was, like, saying that he's the Antichrist and stuff like that. Obviously pretty crazy. And then I guess he said that he was going to hurt himself loud out of his apartment window. Somebody called the cops. Did you watch that video?
I did see that. Dude. And they had him on the gurney. Was it called? Like a gurney?
Yeah. So what happens is... he's yelling outside. Somebody calls the police. The SWAT team shows up. He gets swatted, essentially. Yeah. And they're like, dude, like, we're going to...
I think it was live, too.
Yeah, they're like, come out so we can bring you to the hospital. And he's like, no, I'm scared. And he just goes... It's live because he's on Instagram TV showing everybody.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He's like, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. And they're just like, look, man, we're going to open the door a crack. Just show us that you don't have anything in your hands. That's all we want to see. He does that, and as soon as they see he has nothing in his hands, they come in, riot shield, take him. Yep. They bring him out in this gurney, and like it's weird because everybody's like kind of screaming his name. Yeah. And they're like, Etika, oh my God, Etika, blah, blah, blah. And he's just kind of like laughing. Like it's almost like he liked the attention, although I don't want to make any assumptions. But it's so weird. Like while they were trying to talk to him in his apartment, he was screaming stuff like, the revolution will not be televised. Right. And the negotiator that they had was like, I like Rage Against the Machine too, man. But like, let's relax. Yeah. So I feel like he has this video called I'm Sorry, which I'm sure you saw.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
like
the one.
The 8-minute farewell. Yeah. And he says something really interesting. He goes, I was trying to be edgy, but I went too far. Yeah. He goes, and now like the walls are closing in on me. He's like, I ruined like all my opportunities and stuff. Yep. So do you think this is about declining popularity? No, because he had 800,000 followers. Like, so just help me understand.
He had more than that. That was his second channel after YouTube deleted his original.
For porn, they deleted the first one?
So what happened was, because I did fall off some of his videos. Like, I didn't watch him, like, religiously.
I'm not a huge fan at all. I just saw this in retrospect.
Yeah, so I watched, like, a lot of videos of his. So he had, like, numerous psychotic breaks from the past couple years, and he even said it in his Sorry video. He said social media it can be a very powerful thing, but at the same time it can be such a curse.
Yeah, he said specifically it'll F you up. He said it F'd me up.
So when you think about it, like, there are probably some people who blow up and they have all this love coming in but also hate, and it's like people you don't know who are literally saying some of the craziest stuff.
Like, go kill yourself. Stupid stuff like that.
To them, throw away. They might not mean it. They might mean it. But then you're like, dude, why do like people like hate me for like no reason? You know what I mean? And so he had like a psychotic break. He admitted himself into a psych ward. They released him. Yeah. He did it. He had another one when it was a YouTube stream porn. Like, he was like, you could physically see like a decline in his like mental state. But he was already, like, kind of, like, manic and erratic. That was part of his personality. That was, like, what made him. Like, he was
Yeah.
very passionate, very vocal,
Over the top.
I
I mean, he had to. He's a reaction channel, so of
Yeah.
course, like he had to kind of do this whole like zany thing,
right.
you know?
And like, you know, that probably was him. Like, he was probably that excited,
Right.
and that happy. And then he did the same thing on Twitch, and they banned him. And then there was a third time, but I forget the third time was. Then he was all the tweets,
Yeah.
stuff like that appeared on Keemstar, Drama Alert, said, you know, all the stuff that he like said, and then, you know, he was starting to saying that he was going to hurt himself, and then people were like, this is for attention, like, stop it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I remember when the video came out, it said, I'm sorry, and I was like, I'm watching it, and like, you could see someone who's was at peace with what they're about to do.
Yeah.
Like, he was still smiling. Like, you could still see like a light in there. Like, there was some type of like, I don't want to say happiness, but he was like at peace.
I was gonna say, yeah, he didn't seem like scared or shaken.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of seemed like, well, this is like what I have to do now.
And he was like saying like, oh, I guess I'll never be able to finish that show.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to like
Attack on
have
Titan
kids.
specifically.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll never get to see
how it
ending.
ends.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, you listen to it, it's like, dude, like,
You don't have to do
you don't
this.
you don't have to do this.
I was
like,
thinking that the whole time. I was like, all somebody needs to do right in that moment is just be like, bro, like, you don't have to. You're acting like
Right.
you have to do this.
Right,
So,
and
it's
it's
so
like,
weird to watch.
but he was like, you could see it. Like, he was so at peace
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think, even if someone was there to stop him, I don't think
Yeah.
it would have stopped him. He
It's like,
still would
yeah.
have done it.
He already made up his mind.
He made up his mind.
What's crazy is that he jumped off a bridge and they found his body.
Brooklyn
I think it was
Bridge.
like 5 days later.
A couple days later, yeah. Well, they found the body, like 2 days after, but they couldn't confirm because, you know, with the water and the body will deform, you know, and stuff like that. So they had to, you know, get the family to confirm, and the family confirmed like it was him. And like, that's like what sucks is that like from the bridge, he left all his stuff there, and then, you know, the Joy-Con boys, they held I forget what that's called, but like a vigil there. Everyone, there was like a live stream. Everyone had like Joy-Cons. They were putting them up in the air, and they were like, Joy-Con boys forever, and, like, you know, chanting and stuff like that.
That's
A lot of people there.
That's
So it's like, I don't know if he was able to see like his impact. Dude,
Yeah.
he had a lot of people, famous people, like Joe Budden brought it up. Like, you know, it's like, dude, he had a lot of impact.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his video, and I don't usually watch any reaction stuff. I saw a lot of his stuff, so yeah, he had a huge reach, and it's just like, it's so jarring. And I know with mental illness, it's not like there's much to understand. Like, I can't sit here and be like, oh, this is why he killed himself. But
Right, we have no idea.
it is just so odd. And you're right, man. When you watch that video of him like talking about what he's about to do, he's so comfortable with it. And
Eerie,
it's just
man.
like that is somebody who's mentally ill. Like, that's
Yeah.
somebody who really needs help, you know?
Right.
But what do you do?
And he was even saying in the video, he's like, I wish someone could, like, you know, just like talk to me now. And it's
Yeah.
like, but what is the messed up part is, because he planned. So the video was a scheduled premiere, meaning that
It was
by the
too
time
late,
the
yeah.
video was uploaded, it
too
was
late.
already too late. So that's like
Yeah.
that's the sad part.
Yeah. It's
And,
more, that's a modern suicide note right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, he did live a good life.
He even said that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a shame because sometimes I don't think people can, like, as harmful such, sometimes you just gotta put it down, man. Like, think about the people who are like, quote unquote, bigger than him. Bro, like, that hate that they could be going through from like these random
Right.
13, 14-year-olds who think they're funny.
Right.
They're saying this hurtful stuff to get a reaction. So it's like, oh, dude, Andrew just answered me. And it's like, bro, it's like, this ain't a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
You got to treat entertainers like human beings. I think that's the whole message here. It's
Right.
like, just because someone's an entertainer, it doesn't mean they don't have any feelings. Like,
yeah, man.
of course they're going to act like they don't, because their role is the show must go on. They can't
Right.
break down and cry, but gosh, like, you got to just be a little bit respectful. Like,
Yeah, bro.
there's being in a parody mindset or making fun of people is one thing, but like viciously going after people repeatedly and taking their piece, like, is it really worth it? Is that
I don't get it.
Is that clout for you? Like, is that what is that? You know?
Yeah, I don't understand. I'll never understand it because think about the thought process that you have to go into someone's video that you do not like.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching their video. You don't like them. You're giving them watch time, and you're giving them free promo by just commenting. Like, you're actually helping me out because you're adding comments and you're liking and you're giving me watch time, bro. Like, I was watching Joe Budden has a series called The Pull Up where he does like interview with like certain artists, and Russ was on there, and Russ was like, if you hate me so much, the best course of action for you, ignore me.
Right.
Because anything you say online, if you're getting thousands of retweets, thousands of likes, guess what? You're helping me out.
Right.
Because then people are going to be like, who's Russ? Let me check him out.
Exactly.
Guess what? That's $1 right to me.
Right.
So it's like, I still don't understand. Like, I never thought in my head, like, I don't like this person. I'm just going to say something nasty to him.
Well, it's I think it's addictive for a lot of people who don't have self-discipline or a positive self-image because it makes them feel better to criticize somebody publicly, you know, because for them it's like, oh, like I'm sharp or I'm witty or I made an observation in the face of this person who has more accolades than me, right? Because nobody that's doing anything, like other successful people don't spend their time chastising other successful people.
Nope.
In that way, like they may say something in passing if they're asked about it, but they don't put energy in their day to like harassing somebody because they're too busy doing stuff. So like these are all people that don't do anything. So my view is just like, if you have time to comment, it's like you haven't accomplished more than me, so why do your words have any weight? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have your own YouTube channel that's like doing well. You don't have money coming in from content, so it's just like, why do I care what you say? But I do also understand how en masse, like the sheer numbers like you're talking about of those comments could make you go crazy, which is probably what happened to him, man. Which is why if you're going to make content, dude, you have to have a stomach of steel, and you just got to do it because you love it. Because if you worry about people loving it so much, that's going to control you, and then you're going to have a weird image of yourself, like a weird Michael Jackson plastic surgery outlook on yourself where it's like I have to critique myself and change myself for what other people want.
Dude, even I don't know if you know this YouTuber, Deji, KSI's brother.
Okay.
He uploaded a video a couple weeks ago because, like, you know, he's been having this long battle with like his brother. Like, he's been uploading videos like bashing, not really bashing his brothers, but telling his side of the story. Like they're not on like good terms and stuff. And a lot of their drama,
they actually his biological brothers?
Biological brothers.
Dang,
and a lot of their personal stuff came out about each other like that, you know. Just like, I don't know, like just drama type stuff.
Are you sure it's not an act for?
And that's what's so hard to tell. Like, you really can't tell. And like, so the Deji, he was like, he's been receiving a lot of hate, and like a lot of people comments saying that stuff, and he uploaded his video, just like, and you saw he started crying on camera, like he broke down, and he was like, I was like, dude, he needs someone needs to reach out to him, like, give him a hand. And then he uploaded another video like a week later saying he's like, the Etika thing, he made a video talking about the Etika thing, and he was like, after that video I uploaded, I felt like I was on the same path. Luckily, I sought for professional help. Like,
that's cool, you know.
You know, sometimes people are scared to get professional help, but if you need professional help, if it will help, or if you have a good support system around you, like, that's all it takes.
You're doing what you have to do to survive, man. Like, if somebody criticizes you for that, then that's just weird, you know? That's like criticizing somebody for trying to eat right or trying to exercise. Like, I mean, you can make fun of them for that, but they're doing the right thing, you know? And my thing is, I feel like a lot of mistakes that all right, so Etika dying obviously is very sad, and there's nothing that can be done about that. But I am saying, like, this is a trend that I see in entertainment on the internet, and this is what I think should change. So like a lot of people who get really big on YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that are younger. Like, you don't see like some famous 40-year-old YouTubers, right? Like, they're all like from their like 14s to like 30s, you know what I'm saying? They make content, people love it, blah blah blah. Because they're younger and because they're a little more inexperienced, and because they're seeking, in my opinion, what I see to be kinship or relationships with peers, they let too many strangers into their personal life. On the internet. I feel like that's a big mistake that YouTubers and all these content creators need to stop. Like, keep it about the content, man. Like, and keep your personal life to yourself, because you need somewhere to retreat to that's quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, JonTron, say what you want about him and the stuff that he said. I like him. I'm a fan of his. I think he made a mistake, but he's very, like, you don't know a lot about his personal life. You know, same thing with like James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. You don't know a lot about like his personal life. He's not like, and I know some people vlog and they do Twitch, and so they have to show a lot of their life for entertainment.
It's just a window.
My recommendation, is that you should just keep all that to yourself, so you have somewhere to go. Because if everyone knows everything about you, like what school you go to and what you do every day, then you have nowhere to retreat to. And so people make these synopsis about your life, and if you don't know who you are and you're not ready to handle it, it's really gonna mess with you.
Yeah, man.
So be private, man. That's my number one thing. Like, why do you think all these like artists and directors like Akira Toriyama, like, why do you think that guy's so private? It's because he doesn't want people in his personal stuff.
No.
So there has to be limits. There has to be boundaries. I know with the internet there's no boundaries and no limits, and people are now streaming when they go to the bathroom and all this craziness, but like, there has to be a cap to that, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what it is. You need to have a place where you can shut all of that off. And I'm not talking like, oh man, I'm going to leave the country and burn my phone for a month so I don't have to feel this way. There should be just a retreat that you can go to around you where you don't have to be so extreme.
Yeah.
That's my analysis.
No, I'm with you there, man. If you can, just try to keep your personal life. Just, You gotta have that distinction, because it's like, think about like work. If you bring your work home, like,
there's no escape.
There's no escape. Then you're just like,
your home is your office.
Right.
Now you need another place to escape to. It's like, how many places are you gonna ruin with this nonsense?
You're gonna go nuts.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. But on the subject of reaction channels, E3, we're kind of late to the party, but I did want to talk about it because I know you watched it, and we talk a lot about games on this podcast, and I just want to know like what you're excited about.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I saw the Super Deluxe Edition on the Square Enix website.
$300.
Not gonna buy it. I may just buy the deluxe because I'm into art books, and I'm 100% for the soundtrack. I'm just gonna say, favorite soundtracks in video game. Number 1 is Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Final Fantasy VII. Great music.
Right.
This is the only thing I don't like, and I want to hear what you have to say because you're pretty knowledgeable in this stuff.
Right.
It's going to be released episodically.
Mm-hmm.
Is that by disc? Because I know the original Final Fantasy VII had disc.
Yeah, it's going to be disc.
So are we going to have to buy more hard copies of the game, or is it all going to be DLC that's added to the game?
So what I think they're going to do both.
What?
And I'm okay with that, because I think this game that's coming out, I think it'll be $30 or $45.
7?
Yeah, 7 remake.
But that's not what it says on the site.
Does it say it's $60?
60 for the regular and then 80 for the deluxe.
So what I think, then it'll probably be 2 editions then.
Okay.
I think it'll maybe be 2 episodes. But they said that this game coming out is very big.
Yeah.
They said it's very long. We're talking like, it's a full-fledged game.
Well, if it's going to mimic the original, then yeah, it's going to be super long. Because 7, the original was really long. For people who haven't played it, you know? It couldn't fit on a PlayStation disc back in 2000, which I know you're like, wow, like that was a long time ago. But it's long. Like,
Dude,
it's a very long
lengthy game.
And it's huge.
Right. And they redid it all from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they did it as fast as they did, because I remember when they showed this off, I think it was like, 3 years ago?
No, it's probably more than that, man.
For the remake?
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe I thought at most it's 4 years ago when they showed
I'm going to say this for people who do remember, and I'm going to confirm just so that I'm not a liar here on the podcast. I remember them showing the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer when PS3 was still a thing.
Really?
Yeah, so first
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Fantasy remake trailer. I really gotta find it.
You find it? I'm gonna go on that wiki page. For those who are listening and not watching, we are trying to find information about this. I think it was 2017 when it was first shown.
2015.
2015? Oof.
Yeah, so 4 years ago. So you're right. But I know the PS3 was still kind of like a thing.
Yeah, because it was shown at PlayStation Experience. I remember watching that was in December.
Yeah, so you're right. You know what? That's not too long for Square Enix.
5 years.
Yeah, and this is a pretty big game, so...
And it looks like it plays a lot like 15.
Oh, it's basically 15, so I
and
know
I'm
you're going to be in love with it, yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. It looked good.
My only worry is that I feel like Final Fantasy games, and this is going to sound really harsh, but the stories resonate more with the Japanese audience. I feel like 7 was enjoyable for me because reading it, I could put my own personality to the characters, and it was kind of more charming. Like, it was like I was reading a book almost. I feel like when you make it as cinematic as it looks in PlayStation 4, the story isn't going to be as hard hitting. Like, I feel like it's going to fall flat in certain areas, so I am worried about the story.
If they, because they got all the voice actors from Advent Children back.
Yeah, which is awesome.
If it is cool. If it is close to, or if not word for word from 7 for dialogue, it's gonna have the same impact and it's gonna feel better.
Yeah. So
I think this game is gonna have. I don't think it's gonna have the same impact that 7 originally had, but I think that this game is gonna be well received by a lot more people than 7.
Yeah, the aesthetic is definitely similar, and I'm glad that they try to stay as close as they possibly could because Advent Children had such a distinct style, you know.
Yeah.
And they didn't deviate too far from that. And now that we're in an era of gaming where we can actually make the game look like Advent Children the movie.
Yeah.
It works a lot better because if this would have came out on PS3, then there wouldn't have been proper textures. The lighting would have been bad. Like, it just wouldn't have worked. So I think it's coming at a good time. I just have my doubts. I don't think that it's going to be as good as 15. I think that it's going to probably get like more of like a B. 80.
You beat 15, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of like a B 80% rating.
So what do you think 15 was? Rating and
for me?
Yeah. What'd you give? I kind of forget what you gave it. Exclude chapter 13 in the game.
It's in my top. It's in my top 5 Final Fantasies, but I'd say it probably comes in at number 4. I like the game. It's ambitious. I think it's really good. I think it's huge. It does a lot and it covers a lot of ground.
Story wise.
Yeah, I am more for traditional turn-based combat.
Fair enough.
That's me, and I know you can kind of do that. I think there's like an option or something.
It's kind of. It's not really. It's the same thing in this. It's like it's just like a slow, and you get to see what you want to hit, what you want to do, and then you can queue it up.
I prefer that when I'm playing Final Fantasy, but that's a minor gripe. I think the game overall was really good. So yeah, that's interesting. I could have called that's what you're going to be most excited about because I know you're really into Square games and stuff like that.
But their Marvel game, what do you think of that?
The Marvel game is exclusively for Switch, which is really
PlayStation.
Weird. Which one are you talking about? Oh, the Square
Avengers
Enix
game.
Marvel game.
Yeah.
I know there's one coming to Switch. It's like a Marvel Universe game.
That's probably like Ultimate Alliance or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a new Ultimate Alliance. It says it's a Switch exclusive.
That's like a. It's kind of like
this is an Avengers video game.
Yeah, Avengers video game.
Is this a fighter?
No, story.
Oh, it's like an action adventure game.
Maybe like open worldish kind of.
Not gonna lie, this is the first time I've seen the trailer. This looks cool, man.
It looks cool. I don't know. I still don't know about it.
It looks.
But at the same time, I didn't think I was gonna like Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man I knew right away I was gonna like just because I played a lot of the previous games. This looks like a third-person shooter actiony game. It looks pretty cool. I think this is a good way to capitalize on the ending of the Avengers cinematic universe. Like, you have a video game for people who still want more. I'm probably not gonna get it. I'm surprised that Square Enix is producing it. Like, that's really interesting.
They partnered with Marvel.
That's really interesting. Yeah, it looks great. This is probably gonna do well. I think you can't really fail.
What else was shown?
I mean,
Cyberpunk.
Okay, so now we're going off of Square.
Yeah.
So if Cyberpunk,
because that's all that Square showed. They didn't really.
The Kingdom Hearts DLC. Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick before we leave.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm super vague on what it is,
and I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's at this point
where
it's
too little, too late, dude.
Okay, so it's been about 5 months since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting this on the table now. I completely changed my rating of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's not a good game.
It's not.
No, it's just flat out not a good game.
Dang.
Like, flat out, it's not a good game. I'm playing it on. I have played it. I'm officially done playing it.
Yeah.
Because I put it on the new difficulty.
Even when the DLC comes out, you're not gonna play it?
I'll try it, but the new difficulty is just annoying, because by increasing enemies on the screen doesn't make something it makes it annoying.
You're saying it's not challenging in a smart way.
There's no intelligence behind the AI.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you want a harder game, more enemies.
More enemies.
Well, of course it's going to make
enemies
it hard.
who have buff stats and your stats are debuffed. That doesn't make it hard. That's not what a challenging game is.
Yeah.
Play any type of challenging game. Play Dark Souls. Play Bloodborne.
You just make the enemy smarter. That's
you make
the
enemy
solution.
smarter.
Yeah.
Instead of attacking you, they might strafe your attack.
Yeah.
They change up. It's not predictable.
Yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like I turned off that whole summoning thing. Dude, it drives me crazy. The attraction rides.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand it. It literally like infuriates me because I'm like, dude, why is this game so dumbed down? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the story, and then it's like, it took you 13 years to come up with this game. I understand that there was numerous Final Fantasies and there was a lot of hands working on 15. And it shows. 15 to me is a 9 to a 9.5 game.
Yeah, I know that's one of your favorite games ever.
Dude, that game, even the writing in that game, like if you play it in English version or even the dub, it matches up. You can feel the emotion behind the characters. You play Kingdom Hearts 3 and some of the writing seems so rushed. Things don't make sense. Riku and Kairi don't see each other for the whole game until the last fight.
Yeah.
We don't see Kairi the whole game. We don't even know what she's doing. We understand she's training in Eternal Land, but whatever. Sora is this. He's so his optimism doesn't match the story.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, me and my brother were playing the last part, and if it's spoilers for anybody, shame on you. You should beat it by now. Where he's like killing everybody off. He's kind of like good. Like when they die, he's kind of like, yeah.
When you come back,
see ya.
we'll be friends. And it's like, dude, like this. Because I remember him in 2. Sora's optimism took a big hit in 2 after the events of 1.
Yeah, no, there's some great scenes that stretch his character in 2, like where he has to beg. I think it's Zigbar to see. No. He's begging Xemnas. Xemnas is like,
Yes.
how bad do you want to see them again? And like he
Right.
like has to like get on his knees and like
Emotional.
beg. Yeah,
There's
it
an
gets
emotional
really emotional
payoff in that game.
Where like we see that like Goofy almost dies and like
Right.
King Mickey just snaps, dude, and he goes like full Yoda in Star
Right.
Wars Episode 2 and just starts
And that's the
flipping
thing, dude.
everywhere.
We had moments like that, and then just in 3, it just felt incomplete. And then in the DLC they're showing, I'm supposed to be impressed that I get to fight as Riku for the
and
same fights.
I get to fight as Roxas. Like that's not what I
right.
wanted.
And then you show, and we already fought as Roxas in that fight.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We fought as Sora. But then they show
I didn't mean to say yeah.
They show the what's his name? The
There's Roxas. There's Riku.
the Master of Masters talking to young Xehanort.
Yeah.
Dude, why do they keep we know what that conversation's about.
Yeah.
And we know what this conversation's about. And he's like, "Oh, I just wanted to see like destruction." It's like, dude, we know Xehanort is like he's just a ploy.
My thing is like your DLC shouldn't be like this DLC is going to clear up more of the story. Like no, this is what the DLC should be. Ready? New world. That's
Boom.
it. That's all I want. Just give me one more world.
Or in the DLC, you give us. I would be totally fine in DLC if they showed, you know how Sora disappeared?
Yeah.
They could have showed 10 seconds of Sora waking up in a dark room in preparation to the next game. Boom. That's it.
That's it.
Right there. And then you can play a little mini mission of Sora trying to get back.
Yeah, like a little epilogue, like there was in Birth by Sleep, where you can play as like Aqua. Yeah, dude, I remember that.
Perfect.
That would have been awesome. See,
dude,
that's a great idea.
Birth by Sleep. All right, if I'm changing. All right, so I'm putting my official Kingdom Hearts rating out right now. Number 1, Kingdom Hearts 2. The emotional payoff in that game is literally outstanding, and also the combat in that game is 10 times better than 3.
And it had the most worlds.
And it had the most
Yeah,
worlds.
and the
I don't
combat was
really
awesome.
care about the worlds because a lot of the worlds you repeated from the first game.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the game was phenomenal.
Mhm.
And then, oh my god, Riku. Riku had his storyline in the first 2 games is phenomenal.
Dude, the moment where Riku and Sora team up to fight the final boss, it's like the best ending to any Kingdom Hearts
Dude.
game. It's
Dude,
so
when the lasers are coming down, they're just
dude, and
zipping
they're just
all
like,
over the
dude, it's so satisfying. Like,
Satisfying.
That's actually one of my favorite final bosses in video
There's
games.
a payoff.
That payoff was
Is
amazing.
a payoff.
Yeah.
All those hours you grinded in that game, it paid off. And then when you had what was it called in 2? When what was it called? Forge? You got the forged blades or something like that?
Yeah.
You get a new suit. Why is that not in 3?
Yeah. Why aren't the drive forms in 3?
Drive, that's what it's
I know
called.
you know how the key you have like the keyblade pinches where you can go into like those keyblade forms,
Yeah.
which is cool. That's kind of like the drive forms.
But they're all the
dude,
same combos.
When Sora had like like 2 keyblades and stuff. Like that was way
Right.
better, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, and the summons. Like, there's no summons in this
Yeah.
game. And then there's no Final Fantasy characters in this game.
Yeah,
It
which is
doesn't
weird.
make sense.
I think Tetsuya Nomura said something like they aren't important. There was like this really controversial statement he
But
said
you,
that like
you
a lot of people
can't you
reacted
can't say
to.
they're unimportant when the first world that you go to in Kingdom Hearts 1 is all Final Fantasy characters.
You have Moogles. I mean, like Moogles are Final Fantasy characters.
Right.
So it's like, are you gonna pick and choose what's important? Like, think
Right.
about it. Think about if you had like Lion King, but then you had, I think he's Red 13 from Final Fantasy VII, that like
Right.
lion character. Like that'd be cool.
And the thing
you know?
that drove me crazy, Kingdom Hearts 3 opens up, you see Cloud.
Yeah.
Remember the statue?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you do that, but he's like just reference. All right, so my second game, my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game,
Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's not even close at this point.
See, I'm agreeing with your rating. Dream Drop Distance is my second, and then Birth by Sleep is my third.
And that's fair because, and I'm gonna say this, Birth by Sleep easily could be a T for teen game.
Yeah.
There is so much weight in that game
Mm-hmm.
for a Disney game
Yeah.
that came out in 2011 on a handheld,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they poured it over to the PS4, the game plays brilliantly.
Yeah.
The emotional weight in that game, even though you have to play it 3 times, it's phenomenal. And all the stories were different.
Yeah.
All 3 stories were so different. So then 3, I have to put Kingdom Hearts 1, Start of the Journey.
Yeah.
As broken as the game is to play today, it's almost unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. It's actually really bad.
It's a little slow. Sora is definitely not nimble, so
Yeah.
it's hard to win. Like
It's hard to play.
dude, to beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 is like you trying to cut a sandwich with like a pin that you
Right.
stick up like notes with on the wall.
Bro, do
That's
you
kinda
remember?
what
Do you
it's
remember
like.
at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, the secret boss, you had to fight Terra?
Yeah,
Remember how hard that was?
that was. I'd never beat that boss. That's how hard that boss.
That's
was.
how hard. 13 years later, and like you still can't beat that boss. Like
Yeah.
he's that
Yeah.
difficult. So then, I'm trying to think what else we got. Not Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance. I did increase it up because the Organization 13 storyline, that game is very good.
Mhm.
And then so that's 4. And
I
then
just like
5.
the flow motion mechanics. Yeah, but
And then they talk about flow motion, but flow motion in Kingdom Hearts 3 is non-existent.
it doesn't work like it does in Dream Drop. Like Dream Drop, you really felt like you were avoiding things, and you're like, wow, this really works. And then like, it takes so long for you to build in 3. Then by the time you build it, you don't have a lot. So
And then so after that, then I'm just gonna put like I said, Dream Drop Distance. Then number 5, I think I'm at 5 or 6. Chain of Memories.
Chain Memories is
Not
cool.
the Game Boy
The
version.
PS2 one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The story for Chain Memories was just like was pretty good. Like that's all I really
And
remember.
I'm putting Kingdom Hearts 3 probably dead. Oh my god, I forgot one. 358 over 2.
Yeah, I'm putting that last. I hated that game. I never beat it. I just watched cutscenes.
Yeah, because that's one of the games that should have been ported.
Yeah, that should have
like,
been remade for sure.
Yeah, you should have remade that one instead of Chain of Memories. But I get Chain of Memories is a very
Yeah.
important game.
You're forgetting Recoded. I didn't like Recoded either, but it
The
was
cell
cool.
phone game.
That was the cell phone game that turned into the DS game.
I didn't really care.
Yeah, it was just about there's 2 Rikus. The digital Riku comes out of the Jiminy's Journal. But yeah. So what I look at Kingdom Hearts 3 as now, like a good portion of time later,
All right.
is it's kind of like this. You gotta go.
No.
All right,
Not
just let me know. It's kind of like this epilogue, really. It's not like a definitive Kingdom Hearts game. It's kind of like this game is more of like an ending, like kind of like an ending for the fans. But I feel like they, again, we covered all this before. They marketed too much. Like they tipped their hat a little bit. I think it would have been
dude,
more
even,
well
like,
received. Tip their hand,
I'm trying
not
to think,
hat.
like, dude, even, oh my god, you know what drove me crazy? I'm just thinking about it now. The Pirates of the Caribbean mission. Why am I collecting 300 crabs?
Why am I going to islands? Period. Like why this boat? Why am I in a boat? This is all I gotta say.
And there was no mechanics to the boat. It was just like,
I feel like we've talked about this game to our dead in the face. This is what I'm saying. I don't know what the DLC is. Tetsuya Nomura said that he was gonna make Final Mix, like, because everyone was like, "Is there gonna be a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix?" He's like, "Bro, like, we're just gonna make the DLC Final
and
Mix."
what's this one called? It's called Kingdom Hearts 3 Reconnect, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
like,
man. So I'm
this
just
whole
like,
crypticness is just getting so annoying.
I'm not hyped for this until I know what the DLC is. If it's
Yeah.
just an alternate version of the game I already played in terms of like
I'm not
the
paying
final
for it.
battle is
I
different.
won't pay for it.
I want another secret boss. I want another world. That's it. So
Dude, Secret Boss was too easy. And you know what else they showed?
I wrapped that secret boss, bro. I wrapped him up.
And you know what else they showed? They showed Sora fighting the 13 Xehanorts again. I'm like, why am I going back to this? And they showed him in driver mode.
Yeah. There was a new form that he had.
But I'm like, that's not what DLC should be.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't hype me up.
Yeah, that it's treating it like it's an open world game that you're playing constantly,
Right.
and not just like a story that you're dipping into once in a while.
Right.
It's like, dude, I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like, how? It's not an open world game. You just run through it. So it's
Right.
like, hey, are you guys having fun still playing it? No, I'm done playing it because
Right.
it's a story based game. Well, now you can have this. Like, that sort of stuff would make sense in an open world game where it's
Right.
like, we're adding new moves, we're adding new stuff, but I'm already done the story. So to experience all these new things that you're adding, I have to beat it
And
again.
it doesn't come out till
Why?
the fall.
To the fall? Till the fall?
Or maybe winter. It's one of the two.
I know
That's so
no, it is to the fall.
long.
Why? Do you think I'm like, you have a lot of faith in your fans to be like, oh,
to release a game
still
in
playing it.
February, and you're going to still be playing a very linear game by October.
That's why I'm putting it down. I didn't even do the critical mode because I'm waiting till all that stuff is done so I can play critical mode and all the DLC together in one foul swoop.
Yeah.
Because you think how crazy I'd have to be to beat the game, then beat it in critical, then wait till the DLC comes out and beat it again? Who do I look like to you?
Right. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
So
bro.
yeah, I'm a
Let's-
little mad.
What
with-
what
yeah.
other games you got? 'Cause
So I mean,
I'm just getting
the
annoyed
Smash
with it.
announcements were awesome. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Quest VIII, and I'm very happy that Dragon Quest VIII, the main
Builders.
character is going to be in there as a skin, and of course the main character from the new Dragon Quest is in there. The hero is what he's called, and I think that's
Banjo-Kazooie.
yeah. But before we get to Banjo, that whole reason why Dragon Quest is in there is because the definitive edition of Elusive Age is coming out on Switch, which I'm super excited for. So Nintendo.
Should I look into it?
What?
Should I look into it?
If you're a DQ fan, I know you're a hardcore JRPG fan. This is the one for you.
Yeah.
It's great. And it's the definitive edition is going to be on the Switch, so it's just like how they re-released Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King on 3DS, and it was way better than the PS2 one. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this game because it's one of the best JRPGs ever.
We had Fantasy Star. That's
Fantasy
coming
Star,
out.
yeah. But what I was gonna say is the Banjo and Kazooie thing was so wild. So when Ultimate first got announced, people were asking me like what characters I wanted to see. Shadow the Hedgehog, Rayman, Crash Bash, Spyro, and Banjo and Kazooie. I would have never guessed out of those 5 in a million years that would have been Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah, I never would have thought Banjo would have came.
That is the first of North American character, the North American IP that's ever been in Smash, to my knowledge. I don't know for sure. I know people have made videos on this, but like all of those characters are Japanese except Banjo. So the fact that Sakurai picked that character that was made here in the West is a huge deal. Like now those other 2 could be anybody. Now those other 2 could really be Doom Guy. They could be the Minecraft character. I don't know. So that's why it's really exciting to be like, wait a second. Out of all the possibilities, it's not a Japanese character. Shadow the Hedgehog was the other one, if I didn't say that. It's Banjo-Kazooie, like a character that we haven't seen in 25 years. That's why, dude, these other 2 characters, now I'm like, bro, what could these 2 be?
Yeah.
What in the world could they possibly be, dude? So I'm excited. I'm not sure if you grew up with Banjo.
I played the game.
Yeah.
N64.
That was a big part of my childhood. That was the first time I was really playing like 3D games, because up until then I was playing Sonic on Sega Genesis, and it was just cool, man. But it's one of those things where I guess the internet like really, really freaked out. Like I watched a lot of videos of people.
Remember when they put in oh my god, what's the character's name?
England?
In Smash 4. The one that the community requested. Now I can't remember what the character was.
I feel like Snake was kind of a big deal.
He was a big one.
He was a big
they
deal.
Put him in. Same with Mewtwo.
Oh,
Everyone wanted Mewtwo.
Mhm.
They put him in. Damn, what was the character? It was a sword character.
Cloud?
Nah, well, he was another one.
Mhm.
There was a sword character in Smash 4 that they put in. It was towards the late.
Fire Emblem?
I can't remember. I can't remember what character it was.
Shulk?
No, it wasn't Shulk. No one really cared for Shulk.
Shulk, yeah. It's like who's playing Xenoblade Chronicles besides you?
Yeah, seriously. It'll definitely come to me. I can't even think of what character it was. I can see his face, but I can't even pin it.
Here's my
I can't
question.
figure it
Here's
out.
my question to you. Not to
What's
change
up?
subjects too much, because we could still talk Smash. But at what point in your life are you gonna have the time to play Breath of the Wild 2?
Well, I don't even know if I'm gonna play it if it's anything like Breath of the Wild 1. This game's terrible. Let me tell you this. So, all right, I think I told you this.
Okay, weird. But I want to tell everybody, I've been playing Switch a lot because I've been getting into Hollow Knight. Great game. Every time I play it, I see Sheldon's online. I'm just curious. I always check to see what he's playing.
Yeah.
As much crap as he talks about Breath of the Wild, he plays it a lot.
Yeah, because this is why I've been playing this shitty game a lot. All right, ready? So I was like, maybe I've been hard on this game. Let me keep going. As much as it gets me angry with the whole survival mechanic of it, stupid.
Durable.
No Zelda game ever had that. It's dumb. Don't put that in there. Don't I have a nice boomerang. The I can't remember the 3 jagged one that does 40 attack, breaks after 5 hits. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I do gotta say, when you go through a lot
you know how stupid Link looks having a whole inventory of a farmer's hoe and then like all these stuff, and then you're going to a battle, you're just switching out weapons the whole time? That looks stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so dumb. But here's my real big gripe with it. So I was playing a lot. I was unlocking a lot of the camera moments because they were the story moments. The interactions between him and Zelda in this game are beautiful. I love these moments, right?
It's voice acted. It's very strange, yeah.
It's very jarring. So I like it. I like it a lot. It looks great. It's written pretty well. So I've been grinding, and I got to the Lost Forest to get the sword. I'm trying to pull the sword up. He's like, "You're gonna die if you keep trying to pull the sword, the Master Sword." I'm like, "Dude, shut up." So I'm like, try to pull again, I die. I was like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" And like, they keep it vague. It's so vague on what you have to do.
Yeah.
They just say you have to obtain more strength in order to pull the sword from the ground. So I go online. I'm like, all right,
how do I do this?
How do I do this?
Yeah.
Yo, they say you need 13 heart vessels.
Bro.
13 heart vessels.
Bruh.
You know how many shrines
I gotta go to.
You have to complete to get 13 heart vessels? I'm going to tell you the answer because I counted.
Isn't it 4 for every heart?
40. You have to complete 40 shrines. So you get, how many orbs is that? A lot, 40 orbs.
So I
get
thought,
a shrine
I thought
orb.
It was four shrines for every orb, right?
No, 4 shrines for every heart.
Okay, so it's 10. Yeah.
You need 40 shrines completed.
Yeah.
In order to get this stupid sword. And then, if you want the Hyrulean shield, guess where you got to go to get it? You have to go to the castle. You have to go into the basement of the castle. And then guess what? It's there. You have to beat one of a quick boss, and then you can get the shield. Dumb. Stupid. That is so dumb. The fact that if you didn't know where the shield was, you could go the whole game without the shield.
I mean, but I think that most people would argue that that's kind of the beauty of Breath of the Wild. It's like you get to choose what you want. But it's not.
It's a dead world. Even the world, it's just obsolete. It's just desolate. It's not fun. Like just running around with Link, like trying to climb stuff, and you just fall. I'm like, dude, this is so aggravating.
Well, again, people would argue that you could warp to like those way towers, and then you could glide off.
Okay, fair enough. But still, you're trying to grind up to get these hearts. Then you have to grind up your stamina. It's just annoying. It's so annoying.
Sheldon doesn't like Breath of the Wild. He might be the only gamer in the world who doesn't.
I'm not a fanboy. I love Zelda games, but I'm not like these fanboys.
The game has been critically panned, though, by so many people.
Yeah, so is the last Zelda games. They say this is one of the greatest games ever. Go on Zelda's Wikipedia page, look up the last 6 games. They say this is one of the best games ever made.
I will say that a lot of the non-open world Zelda games probably aren't deserving of all the praise that they get. Skyward Sword, I mean, Ego Raptor brings up really good points about this in the sequel at his YouTube series.
Go ahead and believe yourself saying that Twilight Princess is not better than this game. You won't believe that. Twilight Princess, after Wind Waker, there was a long gap between a Zelda game coming out. That was a major title. Because we were in that switch from GameCube to Wii. So the last one on GameCube was the Wind Waker.
Yeah, great game.
One of the best games ever. Period. Across the board. How do you top that? You just change the art style from the last iteration, which was, I think the last one was Majora Mask.
Yeah.
So that was the last one.
Maybe.
Something like that, right? Where it was like still kind of pixelated, but it looked better. What do you do? How do you go from here? You're like, we're going to make this toon style. Great choice. Because then you get a different type of Zelda.
Right.
You don't get Damsel in Distress Zelda. You get the Warrior Zelda.
Yeah.
So then after that, they're like, what do we do? We're going to make this game T-rated, and make it dark. this game's gonna be very dark.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even just like mood wise. I mean, story wise, because the story was very dark.
Aesthetically.
Twilight Princess is one of the best games. Then you get introduced to Sheik in a game. Phenomenal. So where do you go from here? Then you get what was the next
Skyward
one?
Sword.
Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword was okay. It was just too
Cartoony.
not even just Wii friendly, you know, with the whole motion. Yeah, I'm not. Just give me. I'm a controller guy.
I'm old school, man.
Old school. I'm a controller guy. I don't.
When I play a video game, it's been a hard day at work, bro.
I'm not trying to lift the arms up. Man.
I'm not trying to stand in front of my TV.
Like I ain't doing that.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Keep it. Just keep it. Like Skyward Sword had, and I think this new one, Breath of the Wild 2, it interests me because I think it's going Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Mix with maybe a Skyward Sword. It looks like the castle's going to go into the sky.
We were talking about that, I think, where a lot of people were theorizing that if Breath of the Wild, the first game, echoed Ocarina of Time.
I got like 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Then the second Breath of the Wild would echo Majora's Mask, where it's like we have a really kind of lighthearted adventure story which introduces you to the world, and then we have a game where it all goes bad.
Right.
So I think that's what Breath of the Wild is supposed to be. The questions are just like, is it the same world, but it's bigger? Like, is it a different world? Are the mechanics different? Like, what is going to happen? But it's just like, this game's not going to come out for like another 3 years because this game's just going to be so big.
Dude, Breath of the Wild it's been out for 3 years and it's still $60. I'm like, come on.
But I mean, so is Mario Kart 8. Nintendo is very much
so
like,
weird.
Yeah. They're like, well, you think you're going to get this game for half off?
Sweet.
Yeah, never.
And a Switch is still full price. I'm like, you guys are bold.
That's because the hottest system out right now. If you don't have a Switch, you're missing out.
It is definitely it's the most convenient system.
Go get it. It's actually probably the best ever.
It's really,
I actually don't like
good.
PS4 games anymore because I don't have time to sit and play them. But I can play everything on Switch anywhere.
You heard it here first.
I'm supposed to be working. I play the Switch.
If you have headphones, please raise your volume.
Sheldon has to go, and we talked to E3.
No, but let's finish up with the Breath of the Wild 2. This is what I want. I hope they listen, and I don't care if they have to write in as a narrative aspect. So you should start this game with the Master Sword and Shield. Period. Start off with
Sheldon wants it. It's not a Zelda game if that's not present.
Not even that. It's just like the fact that you got it. You should have it by the end of Breath of the Wild.
What if you beat the game without it, Sheldon?
And you're psycho. I don't know. Like, more power to you. And also the recharge time on the sword. Get a grip. Get a grip, dude. That's so stupid.
Nintendo, get a grip, dude.
Come on, dude. Get your head out of your ass. A 10-minute cooldown for a sword.
What is it? A gun?
Right.
What is this? A machine gun?
I understand if I use the that beam attack that he does with it.
Yeah.
Understandable. But to withhold a sword, I have to have a 10-minute cooldown. So then I got to go back to the farmer's pickaxe. Like, get a grip. And then the shield, like even the bows just be breaking all the time.
Yeah, I hate when I shoot a shot and the bow breaks. I will admit that frustrates me to no end.
But when weapons break, it looks great. Looks great.
How strong is Zelda that he pulls a bow so hard that it just snaps in half?
And how strong is Zelda to fight Ganon for over 100 years of sleep?
Well, yeah.
How she I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like, you guys are just fighting in your minds for 100 years.
Yeah, I think Ganon might be dead. I think this is zombie Ganon. Yeah, but you're right. Maybe they should start you off with something so you're not completely naked. I mean, it only makes sense. You're coming back from one adventure. Like, let's not start Link.
If the game opens up and they just strip you down, like if they said, "Oh, you're starting the game off with like,"
people love that though. They love that. It's the whole Fallout thing.
But there's never been a sequel.
It's the whole Fallout thing.
This is the first Zelda game to get a sequel. None of them are technically sequels.
I don't know my Zelda. I know people would probably.
The only one I think could be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, maybe. That's like a true sequel.
Yeah,
but this is literally called Breath of the Wild 2.
For us, as much as we know, I think it's the biggest Legend of Zelda game. This is the Grand Theft Auto 5 of Zeldas.
Yeah,
that's what this is. So. Yeah.
But the mood of the trailer, I was in it. I was like, I like that
too.
I like that.
I was like all record skippy, like, like the music was backwards. I was like, ooh, I'm creeped out.
Because to me, that was like time travel.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Time travel,
maybe.
So
yeah, that's cool, man.
We'll
E3, a lot of great stuff. This has been episode 70, man. We talked a lot about entertainment and games, so thank you for listening. If you did,
30 more. Check us out on Anchor.
Anchor.fm. We'll make a new commercial soon.
Spotify, I'm coming for your neck.
Wow. Spotify, we're gonna have a talk after this. We love you guys. Take care and have a great week.